Well, it's got all the ingredients: faith, family, resilience, and honeysuckle wine. Two-time Grammy-winning Ranky Tanky returns with a new single. So let's welcome back our good friend on this week's Spotlight Music Series, Charlton Singleton, founding member, vocalist, and trumpeter extraordinaire.
Thank you.
Glad to have you back.
Always good to be here. Always good. Thank you for having me.
Well, so happy to hear that you've now dropped a new single.
Yes.
You've completed an album, which we are going to be wringing our hands and waiting for
That's
that to
right.
get
Yes.
fully released.
Right.
But you've been kept very busy over the last couple of years.
Definitely.
So tell us about the inspiration behind this latest single of yours.
Well, the album is, the whole album is going to be called This Village. And a lot of people talk about the village that they have, you know, the people around them. And so this album is basically sort of a new, you know, we use the term collection of songs about our experiences of the village. And even though, you know, we're of the Gullah community and everything, I think everybody can sort of relate to a lot of the songs and just being in their own village.
Right.
The particular single, Be Alright, was the first one written by Kiana and Clay in the band. It was one of those things where, you know, it kind of just came out. There's a saying that we use, raising up a song. And Kiana, you know, was talking about this during the pandemic, you know, about 2020, and just saying how, you know, everything's gonna be all right, you know, and
like
everything.
that,
And so Clay just sort of started riffing off of that, and they started passing notes back and forth, and we came up.
So that's how it all came about.
That's usually how raising up a song kind of comes about. You know.
Just kind of going through life experiences and then the expressions that kind of come from it and communicating with
Exactly. Sometimes it could be one word. Sometimes it could be something that happened that could, you know, just spark someone's, you know, interest about it, or makes them think, or, you know, it could be a specific bump or a rhythm that you hear in the road, you know, and that can just turn the well on, and you get inspired by that.
I like that.
And it just sort of developed. We just kept working on it and came up with this song.
And your music is very much steeped in the Gullah tradition.
Definitely.
That is very, very close to your heart. How do you bridge something that's so traditional and kind of old world with the more new contemporary sounds?
Well, first of all, it always starts with the rhythm. Gullah music has a specific rhythm. To the naked ear, you know, you've probably heard that rhythm many times, but in Gullah music at its purest form, you're usually talking about people singing, so using their voices, clapping with their hands, and stomping their feet, and that's the original music. You know, so just by having an electric guitar and a bass and a trumpet and a drum set, you know, a tambourine. Well, tambourines are probably the next kind of more, you know, newer instrument, but that's where all of our individuality and you know, some of the other music that has been born, actually born from Gullah, if you really want to get deep into it, that's where all of that comes into play and makes it more contemporary.
So how do you, as you're sewing together these songs, how are you then figuring out who needs to interject where? Who needs to be sort of the star of the show, or to complement the other musicians in the composition? Yeah,
well, that's where a number of things happen. We can play a song during a sound check or while we're learning it or something, and someone will interject some idea. Their personality comes through. You know, the way that I heard a song in my head when I presented it to the band, and then I said, well, let's do it this way. And I look at Quentin and say, well, this is what I imagined. And Quentin starts playing that. And then he says, well, what about this? You know, and it goes to that. The way Kevin does his bass line, the way that Clay, you know, presents the chords in a specific way that he plays the chords. And then Kiana, how she interprets the melody. You know, I could say, let's sing it this way. And she might put something else on, and I go, oh, yeah. You know, that's not in my, I can't do that like they can do it. So that's where everybody's individual personality comes in to form the song that you eventually hear. For example, Be Alright. Be Alright started off as something that, if you heard the way that Kiana and Clay were singing and just messing with it in the beginning, it sounds nothing like
I would
the finished
love
project.
to hear the juxtaposition of those two.
Actually, there is a little clip. If you check out any of our social media,
yes,
there's a little clip of Clay describing that.
And, that's so fascinating.
And he plays a little bit of what it used to be, and then you can go and check out what the finished product is.
So cool.
Yeah, it definitely
so
metamorphoses. There's definitely a metamorphosis.
It grows, it evolves, as time goes. Well, that's wonderful. All right, so again, we'll be waiting with bated breath for the actual album to drop, but people can get the song "Be All Right" right now.
Absolutely, you can download it on all of the streaming services.
Yes.
So yeah, we're really excited about this one. It's been a long time coming. You know, this will be our third studio album.
Is it really?
Yes, this will be our third studio album.
Third studio, 2 Grammys. Okay, so before I let you go, what does 2026 have in store for you?
You know, a lot of back out on the road. A lot of reconnecting, a lot of hopefully new faces and new performing arts centers, new festivals and things like that, new fans, and some really good music. And I just really think that they are going to love everybody that listens to it. If you are a Ranky Tanky fan, I think you'll really dig this new album.
Well, you're one of the most influential musical groups to come out of the Lowcountry and the whole Southeast. I mean, in your genre specifically, too. I mean, it's just, you've made us so very proud. I want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing with us, Charlton.
Always a
Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
We'll be back after this.